Shalom, shalom, family, shalom. How y'all doing out there this evening?
Shalom,
Shalom, shalom,
shalom, fam.
my brother. How are you doing? How is your day?
Is busy, my brother, but it was a good day. But as
Oh
Ice Cube said, man, it was a good day.
man, that's a
It was a
classic
good
joint.
day. Yeah,
That's
man.
classic right there.
It's classic. How was
Yeah,
your day?
it was good, man. I had a conversation with one of our dear sisters. Had a little edification over the phone, so it was a pleasure talking to her.
Okay.
On top of that, talked to my dad about that one thing we've been talking about. So
Oh, okay.
and we're gonna go through Colossians, with him, and see if we can get an
Okay.
understanding on that. So I've been busy, but I've been in the scriptures and just kind of talking about a few things and kind of going from there. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
All praises, all praises.
I'm excited for you, bro.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Before we get
Yeah,
started, can
huh?
we be heard in the chat?
Yeah,
If we could be heard nice and clear and distinct, please put a one in the chat, please, if we could be heard.
we could be heard. My brother, the brother
Yeah,
Briggs
man.
is in the chat.
Shalom, bro. Shalom.
My dear sister, the precepts be's on the deck. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, sis. Shalom, shalom, family.
Yeah.
Oh, we could be heard. Beautiful.
Oh, okay, okay. Sister Tracy up in the chat. Okay. Before we get started, I got to put a little theme music to the little background music to it with this. I don't want it too loud. I don't, but I like to kind of vibe with it. Let me see. I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. Is that too loud?
That's perfect on my end.
Okay. Put a 7 in the chat, family, if the music is just right. 7 in the chat. I don't want the music drowning out what we're talking about, but I do like the music in the background. All right. Tracy got a 7. All right. So, I think it's a pretty intriguing title. Pretty intriguing title. Did the wickedness of this man that we're going to talk about tonight, did his wickedness cause the Most High to change his mind? Did his wickedness cause the Most High to change his mind? The reason why I'm talking about this is it's been an ongoing discussion, an ongoing issue in Israel as far as doctrine goes concerning this. So I figure, you know what? Even though we continue to talk about this, we've talked about it, we've exhausted this ad nauseum, I will go ahead and kind of address it from this perspective, because you have a lot of people who all praises.
Yeah, I feel like my brother, the way you worded that, I'm like, man, that's kind of interesting how you worded that. I'm looking forward to hearing your intake on it.
Okay, we're gonna see. We're gonna see, and I pray that it be something that you get and understand too from the standpoint. I hope I'm presenting right, because I know you would check me on it. Like, boy, you should have talked to me about that, but that'll be behind closed doors. We'll talk about it. But let me say this. Let me preface this before we get into all of this. Listen, in here in Chasers, and I'm speaking for what we believe in Chasers, we don't look at the quote-unquote virgin birth as a salvific issue. We don't look at it as a salvific issue. In other words, we don't believe that you have to believe that Christ was born of a virgin without the aid of a father, or that you do have to believe that Christ or that Joseph is the father for you to walk in the way or walk in salvation. So,
bro, can I be petty real quick?
Yeah, you can be petty.
Since you brought that up.
Yeah.
Like, to your point.
Yeah.
Whatever side you stand on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be petty just real quick.
Oh, go ahead, my brother.
To say that he didn't have a father, isn't that indicative to what we see today in our society? Removing the man from the equation.
Especially when one of the prophetic words, to your point, he said through John, Jeconiah and mercy, that he came to return the hearts of the fathers to the children. But yet, you got a doctrine that's teaching there was no actual natural father, or
No
that
man involved, right?
huh?
Said no man involved, right?
No man involved. Yeah,
Very interesting.
yeah. We marginalizing the role of the man, and that's not to say that, like I said, this is a salvific issue. This is just what we coming down on this, and the bottom line is, when you look at this particular situation that we're going to go over tonight, I just want to make sure that we get this understanding first and foremost. Whether you can eat this or whether you don't want to eat this, the bottom line is we're not saying that you got to believe what we're saying to see the kingdom. Most of, when you look at the scriptures, they don't even emphasize his birth. They emphasize the fact that the king died, that he rose, and he ascended, and he's on the right hand of the Father, and that he restored us back in relationship to the Father. So that's where we stand, and that's what we say about that. We see sister.
Can I be petty one more time?
Go ahead, my brother, anytime.
Because you're saying stuff that's kind of like triggering my petty train.
But this is what we do.
Outside of Matthew, and outside of Luke,
Mm-hmm.
if it was a salvific issue,
Mm-hmm.
why ain't there any doctrine on it?
Yeah.
Didn't Paul meet Christ?
Yeah. Yep.
And,
Yeah.
and at that point, the only thing that Paul said about Christ's birth was one of a woman.
Yeah. Galatians 4:4. That's the only thing he ever said. And you know what's interesting? He's born of a woman. Let me ask you something, brother. Were you born of a woman?
Her name was Jarena Copeland.
Oh, okay.
Were you born of a woman?
Yeah, her name was Darlene Kennedy. Yeah. So, but out of that, somehow we got this whole doctrine. Go ahead.
Didn't Christ say that there was nobody born greater of a woman than John the Baptist?
That's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah, he said that.
But we know John had a father, though, right?
You know what? And the crazy thing is, according to the narrative in the text, the Ruach HaKodesh visited that woman. But yet we don't call her a virgin birth. Oh, okay,
Right.
okay. I'm told to turn the music down a smidge. We don't call her a virgin birth.
Right.
We give Zechariah his due.
Right.
Let me know if that's good, Sister Tracy. Yeah, turn the music down a smidge. But yeah, we give Zechariah his due. But yet the same spirit that moved upon the overshadowed Mary, it's the same spirit that overshadowed Elizabeth, but yet we don't call her in a sense, a virgin birth or whatever. We don't do that with her for some reason.
Right.
But
Hey, since we're on the petty train,
yeah, yes, sir.
didn't the Most High tell Sarah and Abraham that I was going to visit her
Yes, sir.
at this set time next year?
Yeah, he said it in chapter
I will
18.
do unto her as I said.
Yeah. He said it in
Now,
chapter 18.
Now, we would not dare say that the Most
No.
High has sex with Sarah.
We would never say that.
But he said, I will return and do what I said.
That's what he said. But for whatever reason, we give Abraham credit, even though according to Genesis 21, the word says that he visited her.
That's what it said.
That's what it said. It's saying. And there's a couple other instances when you look at Samson, you look at Hannah, who gave birth to Samuel. You see these instances.
Wait. See, we're on this petty train.
Yes, sir.
How dare an angel go to the woman and not the man?
Man.
The woman, the wife came and told her husband, a
Mhm.
man came and talked to me.
Mm-hmm.
Where did we get this? Talk to me.
Yeah.
An angel
The angel. Mm-hmm.
talked to Mary
Yes, sir.
and then talked to Joseph.
Didn't tell Joseph at all. Yeah, you don't see that in any of those accounts. That's a
I'm
good
just
insight,
saying.
bro. Yeah,
Where are we getting these doctrines from?
yeah.
Because there's no way in 2026 a
Mm-hmm.
Hebrew camper would allow an angel to come and talk to his wife without him present.
Without him knowing.
But yet we see it all through the script.
All through the script.
Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, both parties knew, but somehow she was great with child or pregnant by the time Joseph found out.
You know what I'm saying, sis? I'm just saying.
Right.
Samson's wife came home and said, "Baby, a man talked to me."
Mm-hmm.
Dude was like, "Yo, what'd he say?"
Mm-hmm.
He said A, B, C, D, E. Bet.
Right.
The man came to her again.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "This time, let me go get my husband."
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't gonna talk to the man without the wife going to get the husband. He wasn't gonna talk to the man. He had no need to go and talk to the man.
Right.
I'm
But
just
yet-
saying, man.
But yet in this particular instance, all the time when the spirit either overshadowed or visited, there's still the man still got credit for being the father. Or the man knew. But in this instance, the man didn't know or was told well after his wife, and then on top of that, the spirit did it without him. But y'all kind of get where we're going with this. My brother's pettiness has set the tone. So with that being said, like I said again,
Yeah. I got one more petty.
tell the people how you really feel, brother. Tell them how you feel.
But now, according to the prophecy, right?
You
The
might be in
Messiah,
there. Mhm.
the Messiah will come from a small tribe,
Mm.
a small clan.
Ephratah.
So now, I like to think,
Mm-hmm.
small clan,
Mm-hmm.
we family.
Mm-hmm.
You got Big Mama, you
Mm-hmm.
got Uncle Louie, you got Uncle Joe,
Mm-hmm.
you got cousin Tracy, whatever, right?
Yeah.
You got cousin Miko. We all know each other. Matter of
All
fact,
know each other.
we family.
Yes, sir.
Mary shows up pregnant, bro.
Yeah.
And she supposed dad is like, "Yo, daddy, I ain't been with nobody."
Right.
The husband and the wife is sitting at home in the bed at night.
Mm-hmm.
Pillow talking.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Baby, do you really think Mary didn't mess around with nobody? Baby, what she said, she ain't mess with nobody. But we
Mhm.
ain't never heard of that. She is pregnant, baby. And so let's take it to the priest. Let's take it to the temple and let's
That's
do
the standard,
let's find out.
standard procedure. That's the procedure.
Let's go and find out.
Yes, sir. Let's give her the water, the waters.
So the priest does his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Family, she has not been touched. Me as a father,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call my mom or my dad, perhaps if they're still alive.
Right.
Mama, Dad, I got to tell you something. Mary is pregnant.
Right.
We took the priest, and they said she is a virgin. She has not been touched.
Right.
Grandma gonna be like, "Oh my God, we ain't never heard of this before."
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my brother if I got a brother. I'm gonna call my
Mhm.
sister if I have a sister.
Mm-hmm.
The point that I'm making is, I'm going to talk to my immediate family.
Yeah.
And so now, it's gonna be spread because that's something unheard of.
Unheard of.
And we have the documentation from the priest. This is fact and it's valid.
Yeah.
So it's spread in the small clan.
Mm-hmm.
Mary's in school.
Yeah.
Or school.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true? I have never been touched, but I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
The point that I'm making, by the time she gives birth to this child,
nobody knew.
The priests already know.
Right.
They performed the rituals. They already know. So the Levites have been talking amongst themselves.
Right.
Since the day they found out.
Yeah.
The Pharisees would have walked in on this conversation. The Sadducees would have walked in on this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time the woman gives birth in this small community, this will be a known thing. The point that I'm making, family, by the time Christ is doing this thing, where's the ambiguity with the Pharisees and Sadducees?
Right. That's kept secret.
Why aren't they? We expected this because we remember years ago. Matter of fact, I can go pull up the documents. Woman had never been touched.
Yeah.
But as this man is walking and talking and preaching and doing his 1-2, this small community has no idea how he's doing these things.
And there's several verses to your point that say, "Son of David."
I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go ahead and get off that petty train. Go ahead, my brother.
Like you said, there's several verses that say "Son of David" or "Son of Joseph."
Several
verses. I mean, I didn't even pull all of them up, but to the point, my brother's taking us down the petty train. Obviously, what we're getting at is we believe that Joseph is the father. And so, again, like I said, this is not a salvific issue in our eyes. But at the same time, we believe that Joseph is the father. This is what we believe. This is what we teach here. And so, in Israel, or I would just say between Israel, there's some in Israel that believe this. And then definitely from the quote-unquote Christian church, they definitely believe this, that there was a man that got God to change his mind. This king was so wicked that God changed his mind because of this particular king. And I ain't talking about Ahab. I ain't talking about Ahab at all. That was a wicked king. But this king was so wicked, God changed his mind. Go ahead, my brother.
And Christ is a descendant of this man?
We're going to get into that.
Okay.
We're going to get into that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get into that. Because, to your point, if God changed his mind, then there's no way that this man, Christ, could be a descendant of this man. But let's get into the word. Let's get into the word. Let me set a couple premises. I'm gonna see if I can share my screen. Very familiar verse. Very familiar verse. Anybody know Chasers? They know we stand 10 toes on this verse. What up, my big brother Suka?
Shalom to the brother.
Shalom, my brother. Shalom, my brother.
What up? Isaiah 46:10. Did y'all see my screen?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
Got you. Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying what the Father said, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Is that not what it say, brothers?
That's exactly what it's saying.
So when we talk about the counsel, we talking about the mind, the thought, the intent, the will of the Father, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And he said, I will do all my pleasure. Let me go to another verse. Let me see if I got that pulled up. Okay, I got it pulled up. Let me share my screen on this. This is what, because we don't want people coming away thinking that we don't believe. We believe in the King. And the Father said he called the end from the beginning. Let's go to 1 Peter 1 20 through 21. It say, who verily was foreordained, forethought, foreplanned, foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you.
No, in the beginning.
No, before.
No, it says, but was manifested in the beginning of time.
Oh, no. He was manifested in the last times.
No, in the beginning
2 years
of time.
ago.
He said the last times.
He was the one talking to Moses, and he was the one who was talking to the prophets.
I don't see that in the book.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
I mean, we know that there was an angel that visited Moses, and the angels will carry the word back and forth to the prophets. But you can believe what you want. We're just saying this right here is talking about that this person was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifested in these last times for you, who by him do you believe in the Father that raised him from the dead and gave him glory, that your faith and your hope might be in the Most High. That's a mouthful right there. We getting away from the Father a lot of times too with this, but that's a whole other thing. So what we're saying is, this is already in the thought and the plan of the Father before the foundations of the world. So the Father had this in mind, that he was going to restore, he was going to redeem us, he was going to bring us back into connection and fellowship with us. I think there's a scripture, I think it's Ephesians, I could be wrong, but it talks about the Father reconciling the world to himself. And the King was the agent to be able to do that, reconciling the world to himself. So we're talking about the counsel of the Father, and the Father being for, and the thought of the redemptive process being foreordained. If you guys are walking with me on this, family, can I get a 12 in the chat for the tribes? Let me know if there's some 12s in the chat, my brothers.
Yeah, they coming through, bro. They coming through.
Got you. Okay. So now, let's get into this a little bit more. The Father said, let me see. The Father made some promises. And so this man that we're going to talk about, we're going to get to, had to be so wicked that the Father went back on his word, that he went back on his promises, that he had to change how he did things and how he executed things in order to allow this man to make him change his mind and have to jump in there and do what he ordained for a man to do. I hope that what I said makes sense. In other words, there was a promise that he made, and in that promise, it was ordained that salvation would come via a man. But because this man was so wicked, the Father had to change his mind and jump in there because this man was so wicked. So understanding that, let me go to what the book says and let's lay some groundwork. Numbers 1:18. Very familiar passage in Israel. And they assembled all together, all the congregation together, on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from the 20 years old and upward, by their polls or by their numbers. So in other words, it doesn't leave a lot of ambiguity there. How do we know whose house you're part of? Do we know that, and I put this out to my brothers, do we know that you're part of a house by the father, or do we know that you're part of a house by the mother?
Father.
It say father, right?
Sir.
Okay. That's the counsel of the father. That's the way that's the way he set it up. So now let's go to what the father promised. This is what the father promised, because he said he would do his counsel. Let's go to Genesis 49 and 10. I think I might want to start before 10, but let's go to Genesis 49. Feel free to jump in anytime y'all want, brothers. Feel free.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Let me start at verse 8. Genesis 49, verse 8. This is to Judah. Now, who did the king come from?
Judah.
Okay.
Oh, good.
This is what it's saying in Genesis 49 and 10. This is what the father said. Judah, thou art, let me make it larger. Thou art, okay, just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Thou art, Judah, thou art whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies, and thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. For the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, and he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up? The scepter, pay attention to this. This is the verse, family. The scepter, this is what the father said. The scepter, and that scepter is that it's like a stick, like with like a stick that when a king has, like would probably have a jewel at the end or something to that effect. That when you come into his presence, you couldn't just walk up to a king and have counsel with him. He had to summon you. He had to beckon you. You had to schedule an appointment. It's like with the president. You don't just walk into the president's office and just talk to him and start chopping it up with him. Same thing with the king. So it says that the scepter, or that thing that he would point at you to beckon you to come to him, it said the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. So when it says that the scepter, or that throne, that authority will not depart from Judah, nor shall the lawgiver from between his feet, talking about, trying to keep it clean, but it's talking about the mailman, his seed, his progeny, people coming from the line of Judah. It said that a lawgiver will not depart from between his feet until Shiloh, until peace come. Unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Like I said, brothers, if y'all want to jump in at any time, let me know. But this is what the father said. This is the counsel of the father. This was the promise that he had made back in Genesis 49 and 10. Talking about the king, or until that king come, the Shiloh come, that a lawgiver will not depart from him until Shiloh come. That's what he promised. We go to another verse. It's going to lay some groundwork with these promises. Go to 2 Samuel, chapter 7. Let me start at verse 10. Verse 10. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and I will plant them, and they may dwell in their own, and then it may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them any more, as before time. And as since the time that I commanded the judges to be over my people Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thy enemies, also the Most High telleth thee that he will make thee an house. Make thee an house. This is what the Father is saying to David. He's making a covenant to David. Verse 12. And when the days be fulfilled and thou art asleep with thy fathers. He's talking to David. I will set up thy seed after thee, and I will, and which will proceed from thy bowels, from his loins, from his bowels, and I will do what? I will establish his kingdom. What he said to David. He said that his seed after thee. He said, he shall build an house for my name, and I will establish his throne, establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Now, mind you, the temple that Solomon built, that is no more. The temple that Nehemiah then built, that is no more. But there's still this oath and this promise that the Father made to David. He said, I will build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne for his kingdom forever. And I will be his father, and he shall be my son. And if he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. And thy house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever, according to all these words and according to all the vision did Nathan speak to who? David. So did he promise this to David?
Yes, sir.
That's a promise, right?
Sir.
Okay.
Time.
And did the end of life prophecy that the Most High impressed upon Jacob over Judah, that's something that has to be fulfilled, correct?
Yes, sir. That's part of his counsel in
Okay.
Isaiah 46.
Yes, sir. So now we got Jacob who said this, and now we got Nathan the prophet who said it to David. We got just a couple more witnesses. We're going to get into a couple more witnesses because somebody did something so wicked that there's a doctrine out there that the Father changed his mind. I have to see this. Let me go to 1 Chronicles 17, 10 through 17. I mean, 1 Chronicles, 17. Oh, yeah. 1 Chronicles 17, 11 through 15. My bad. These eyes, Lord in Christ. 1 Chronicles 17. Let's see. I think I had that already too. Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, that's okay. 1 Chronicles 17. Let's see, that's 11 through 15. 1 Chronicles 17, 11 through 15. And it says, and it shall come to pass that when thy days be expired, that's what he said to David, so I'm just establishing the witness, that thou must go be with thy fathers. And I will raise thee up, thy seed after thee, and which shall be of thy sons, and I will establish his kingdom, and he shall build me an house, and I will establish his throne forever. I will be a father, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. And I will not take my mercy away from him, as I took it from him who was before thee. But I will settle him in my house and in my kingdom forever. And his throne shall be established forevermore. According to all these words, and according to all this vision, so did Nathan speak unto David. That's in the Chronicles. Let's go. Got two more witnesses and we can move forward. Because I got to find out if this man made the Father back off of all of this. Let me know if y'all want to jump. No, just jump in anytime y'all want to, bros. Jeremiah. Go see what Jeremiah said. Jeremiah, let's start at verse 14. Now, mind you, the Father's already sworn to David. This is what it's saying, Jeremiah. Now, mind you, this is during the time where the Father is rebuking Israel, and he's telling Israel to repent. If anybody's read Jeremiah, it's 52 chapters of listen, judgment is coming, repent. Matter of fact, the account that we're going to deal with is in this very book. But let's go with what the Father said. That's what he said. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will perform that good thing which I promised unto the house of Israel and to the house of Judah. Now, can I ask you a question, brothers?
Yes, sir.
Was David,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
was David king over Judah and Israel?
He was.
So there was no split kingdom. There was no such thing as Northern Kingdom and
No,
Southern Kingdom.
United Kingdom didn't
Not
have
in
was-
David's reign.
Okay, not in David's reign. David's reign, it was all Israel.
All Israel.
And the oath was,
Even in Solomon's kingdom, it was all Israel.
the last
Israel.
one.
yes, sir. So the oath was given to David when it was just one kingdom, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it says, in those days, verse 15, in those days, I will cause, in those days and at that time, will I cause the branch of righteousness to grow up out of David. He shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. Verse 16. In those days shall Judah be saved, and Jerusalem shall dwell safely. And this is the name wherewith she shall be called. The Lord, or the Most High, our righteousness. For thus saith the Most High, David shall never want a man to sit upon the throne of the house of Israel. So he's still, even though there's division and Israel's in trouble, Israel, the northern kingdom that went away by now, and then on top of that, Judah's in trouble, about to be in trouble. Judah's getting rebuked. Well, what is the Father saying right here? David will never want a man to sit upon the throne of the house of Israel. Did I read that correct, brothers?
Yeah.
It say what it say, correct?
Sure.
Okay. Neither shall the priests, the Levites, want a man before me to offer burnt offerings and to kindle a meat offering and to do sacrifice continually. Don't that sound like Hebrew 10?
Sure.
Okay. And the word of the Most High came unto Jeremiah, saying, thus saith the Most High, if he can break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, and that there should not be day and night in their season, then shall my covenant be broken with David my servant. Do we still have night and day?
Absolutely. I think it's starting to get dark where I live at.
Yeah, it look pretty dark where I'm at too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we got one dear sister, if she's on, I don't know if she's on, but we got a sister from the West Coast, and probably based on the time, she's probably seeing light. But I know earlier today, the sun was out, correct?
Was.
So then that would mean that the promise that he made to David still stands. That's what this says. Let's read a little bit further. He says that he should not have a son to reign. He said, then also may my covenant be broken with David, that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites, the priests, my ministers. Let's see, verse 22, last verse in this. As the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured, so will I multiply the seed of David my servant and the Levites that minister unto me. That's what the Father said. Last promise. Very familiar passage for this part right here is definitely Israelite 101. Psalms 132. Psalms 132, verse 11. I'm sorry, verse 10. For thy servant David's sake, for whose sake?
David.
It say that. This is a promise he made to David. For thy servant David's sake, turn not away thy face of thine anointing. The Most High have what? Sworn in truth. So the Most High, did he swear?
By himself.
Dang. He swore on himself. In truth. Unto
All
who?
by himself.
Who did he swear to, Sue? Huh? Who
By
he swore
himself.
to? He swore to, but who did he swear unto?
David.
David.
Yes, sir.
He said, this is what he's saying in verse 11. He will not turn back from it. I don't know. I got a bad translation. It say he will not turn back from it in my translation. Y'all got another translation?
No.
It's gonna say the same thing.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there's another book. I mean, I would like to know. Maybe my eyes ain't the best. I mean, I'm 50 years old. My eyes are, getting a little bad or whatever. I just want to make sure.
Your glasses, man.
Okay. But it do say that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That he will not turn from it. Or the fruit of thy body will I set upon thy throne. The Father promised all this, right?
He did.
Okay. So let's get to this because this man was wicked. Let's get to it. Just want to make sure. Go ahead and share the screen on this. Let's go to it. Jeremiah 22. Start at verse 24. Let's see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
Before I move forward, are we tracking, chat? What I'm getting at, can I get a 1200 in the chat for the 12 tribes? What times 100? Can I get a 1200 in the chat if you guys are understanding that the Father promised David? And I hope that the Father we communicated the promises of the Father to David, that he will not even back away from it. Anything in the chat yet?
Not yet.
Or did I put everybody to sleep?
No, man, we good.
I'll put 1200 up there.
Huh?
So I'll put a 1200 in the
Okay,
chat.
thank you.
Okay, they're coming in now.
Oh, okay. Like, dang. Did I lose everybody? Okay. Thank y'all. Okay. So let's get into this. The curse of Jeconiah. Jeremiah 22, verses 24 through 30. Because what we're dealing with when we go to this particular chapter and verse, this instance in the scriptures, is this man, according to some popular doctrine out there, is the reason why the Most High had to back off that promise. And he had to himself jump in there and remove Joseph out the way, and by his spirit impregnate Mary and become the father, or he had to take on flesh, or whatever they want to spin it, to become Christ, or make Christ this demigod, or this half God, half man. This is what had to happen in order for us to be redeemed back to the Father. Christ didn't come according to how people understand this particular story. Christ didn't come the way that we all come, by mother and father, even though Hebrews say it, but the Father had to jump in there. Or I even heard somebody even recently say that Mary was able to have seed because she came from the seed of her own father. So she had, in a sense, what we call, I guess, residue seed from her own father, which will give her the ability to carry seed. I've heard some crazy stuff when it comes to trying to explain how the woman had seed. We won't even go there with Genesis 3 and 15. That's not even talking about Mary, but that's a whole other thing. But anyway, let's get into it. The curse of Jeconiah, verse 24, chapter 22, verse 24. Father said to Jeconiah, because he was wicked, as I live, saith the Most High, though Coniah or Jeconiah, take Jeconiah off, the beginning of the name off, Coniah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Israel, were the signet upon my right hand, yet would I pluck thee thence. In other words, he's king. He's sitting on the throne. He's a descendant of David. But he's being plucked from the throne because he's wicked. And I will give thee into the hand of them that seek thy life, in the hand of them whose face thou fearest, even into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and into the hand of the Chaldeans. And I will cast thee out, and thy mother that bare thee, into another country, where ye were not born, and there shall ye die. But to the land whereunto they desire to return, thither they shall not return. So he's telling Jeconiah, you want to come back, you're not coming back. Is this man, Coniah, a despised, broken idol? Is he a vessel wherein is no pleasure? Wherefore are they cast out, he and his seed, and are cast into the land which they know not? Oh, earth, 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 hear the word of the Most High. When you look up the Hebrew on that, he's talking about the actual land, not the whole earth. He's talking about the land. The Hebrew for that is land, land, land. And he's saying, oh, land, land, land. He's talking about the land, the southern kingdom in which he ruling. He's saying, oh, land, 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 oh, earth, earth, earth. Hear the word of the Most High. Thus saith the Most High. Write this man childless. In other words, his children won't experience any goodness concerning this land. A man that shall not prosper in his days, for no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting on the throne of David, ruling any more in Judah. So when people look at verse 30, they say, thus saith the Most High, write this man childless. Write this man childless. A man that shall not prosper in his days, for no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting upon the throne of David and ruling in Judah. That's where we get the curse of Jeconiah, because now what people are saying is, now this means that God had to jump in there. Haven't read this or haven't heard this. What are your thoughts on this, my brothers? I want to pass this on to you if you have any thoughts on this. Go ahead.
I'm curious to hear what you got to say, bro.
Okay. Let's go to 2 Kings 24. Let's set more of the story. 2 Kings 24, 8 through 17. Kings 24, verses 8 through 17. And it says, Jeconiah, there's some more background, some more story behind it. Jeconiah was 18 years old when he began to reign. And he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months, and his mother's name was Nehushta, a daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Most High, all according to all that his father had done. Father was a wicked king. At the time of the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, came up against Jerusalem, and the city was besieged. And Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came against the city, and his servants did besiege it. And Jeconiah, the king of Judah, went out from the king of Babylon, he and his mother, and his servants, and the princes, and his officers, and the king of Babylon took him in the 8th year of his reign, and carried him out thence all the treasures, and he carried out thence all the treasures of the house of the Most High, and the treasures of the house, and cut in pieces the vessels of the Most High of gold from Solomon, king of Israel, which Solomon, king of Israel, had made in the temple of the Most High, as the Most High said. Verse 14. And he carried all Jerusalem, and all the princes, and all the mighty men of valor, even the 10,000 captives, and the craftsmen, and the smiths. None remained, save the poorest sort of the people of Israel. So there was a remnant that was left. And he carried away Jeconiah, or Coniah, to Babylon, and the king's mother, and the king's wife, and his officers, and the mighty of the land. Those carried he into captivity from Jerusalem to Babylon. And all the men of might were 7,000, and craftsmen and smiths 1,000, and all that were strong and apt for war, even the king of Babylon brought captive to Babylon. And the king of Babylon made Methaniah, his father's brother, king instead, and changed his name to Zedekiah. So now we see, again, he was wicked, he was an unrighteous king, him and everything connected to him, his family, all went into captivity. Sons, children, all of them went into captivity. Mind you, verse 30 of Jeremiah, verse 30 of Jeremiah, let me go share it again. It says, thus saith the Most High, write this man childless. Now he had children, but it would have been no remnant of his children in the land by the time that Babylon got done with him. It said, write this man childless, talking about the land of the earth. There would be nothing left. In other words, there would be no artifacts, there would be no remnant, there would be nothing to show that he ruled there. It said, a man that shall not prosper in his days, for no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting on the throne of David and ruling anymore. So based on this, if that's possible, that this is meaning all the descendants of David, as people teach it, then everything that we read concerning the promises of the Father and what he swore, heaven and earth would have had to pass away. He would have had to understand that he lied to David. Would have to understand that what he said about the scepter, about the not the scepter, but the lawgiver from between his the legs of Judah, all of that ended. All these things that we just read, when you look at all these different verses, such as Genesis 49 and 10, 2 Samuel 7, 10 through 17, 1 Chronicles 17, 11 through 15, Jeremiah 33, which talks about the branch, verses 14 through 22, and also Psalms 132, verse 11, we would have to surmise that the Father changed his mind if, when we look at this particular verse, that seed meant every descendant from Jeconiah on down. We're going to get more into it later, because What is being taught or what is being said is that because of this instance right here, that the Father changed his mind. The oath that he made to David, the promise that he made to David, the covenant, the agreement that he made to David, he went back on it. That's my understanding. That's my stance. Let me go to one more section. Hold on. Verse 2 Kings, chapter 25, verse 27. It says, and it came to pass that in the 7th and 30th year of captivity, Jehoiakim, or Jeconiah, king of Judah, I'm sorry, let me make that larger. King of Judah, in the 12th month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, that evil Merodach, king of Babylon, that sounds like a cartoon character, king of Babylon, in the year that he began to reign, did lift up the head of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, out of prison. And he spake kindly to him, and set his throne above the throne of the kings that were with him in Babylon. What that means is that he gave him status in Babylon. He gave Jehoiakim status in Babylon. He found favor in Babylon. Verse 29. And changed his prison garments, and did not eat bread and did eat bread continually before him all the days of his life. And his allowance was a continual allowance given him of the king, a daily rate for every day, all the days of his life. So the father held true to what he said. He said, Jehoiakim, yo, you're not going to see the throne. And your seed after you, the children that he had during the time that he was alive, that he was in the land, it's like they're not going to be there. So they didn't see the throne. But he received favor while he was in captivity. Let me go to a little bit of something I was looking up when I was researching this. Let me know if y'all want to jump in or if anything I need to clean up on this, brothers. Let me share this screen. Let me make that larger. Y'all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see. It says, Jehoiakim's sad experience changed his nature entirely. Matter of fact, let me go back and reference where this is coming from. This is in rabbinical literature. It's an excerpt from rabbinical literature. It says, Jehoiakim's sad experience changed his nature entirely. As he repented of his sins, which he had committed as king, he was pardoned by the Most High, who revoked the decree to the elect that none of his descendants would ever become king. He even became an ancestor of the Messiah that's coming up. It was especially his firmness in fulfilling the law that restored him to God's favor. He was kept by Nebuchadnezzar in solitary confinement, and as he was therefore separated from his wife, the Sanhedrin. He was separated from his wife, the Sanhedrin, which had been expelled with him to Babylon, feared at the death of his queen, the house of David would become extinct. They managed to gain the favor of Queen Semiramis, who induced Nebuchadnezzar to ameliorate the lot of the captive king by permitting his wife to share his prison. As he manifested great self-control and obedience to the law, the Most High forgave him his sins, according to this account, and Jehoiakim lived to see the death of his conqueror, Nebuchadnezzar, which brought him liberty For within 2 days of his father's death, evil Merodach opened the prison in which Jehoiakim had languished so many years. So whatever happened during the time he's in captivity, he found favor because he was elevated. He was elevated, and he was given a promotion, which is why it said that his throne was exalted above the thrones of the other kings. So there were other kings that went into Babylonian captivity too, but for whatever reason, he excelled, or he behaved or carried himself in such a way that when he was given release, his throne was exalted, or the authority that he was given under Babylonian rule was above everybody else's. Any thoughts before I move forward?
No, sir.
When you look at Jeremiah 30, 52, 31 through 34, you will see the same account where the same thing happened when evil Mandrake gave him, I'm gonna say Mandrake because I have a hard time saying his name, gave him favor. And so this is what happened. Now, the question I have is, if no one from his throne, if we're talking about his descendants for good, was to rule in Jerusalem, in Judah or Judea, how is it that we're seeing people that are direct descendants of him ruling with him, ruling in the land? I'm sorry, ruling in the land. Does that make sense what I'm asking? Brothers, does that make sense what I'm asking?
Yeah.
Let's look at it. What does 1 Corinthians 3:19 say? And the sons of Pedaiah were Zerubbabel. That name should be familiar. Call our brother Agent Z, or at least I call my brother Agent Z. Y'all seen the teachings of Haggai, etc. But we're talking about this lineage. This is 1 Chronicles 3:19. And the sons of Pedaiah were Zerubbabel and of Shammai. And the sons of Zerubbabel were Meshullam and Ananiah and Shemelah, Shelemith, their sister, and Hashubah and Ohel and Berechiah and Hasadiah and Jahashabah or something. Jahashabah said. So he had sons and daughters after that. Mind you, he's coming from the same line, if you guys are seeing my screen, from the same line of who? Who is that right there? Is that not Jeconiah in verse 17? Brothers?
Trying to get the chat involved. Yes, sir.
Okay. No fault. Yeah, I can't see the chat, so I hope the chat is talking. But is that not Jeconiah? That's Jeconiah right there. So Jeconiah, Pedaiah, and Jeconiah is the father of Pedaiah, and Pedaiah is the father of Zerubbabel. Now we do understand in past studies, looking at Haggai, looking at Ezra, looking at Nehemiah, Zerubbabel was one of those who did what? He went back to the land, and he was a governor in Judea. One of those that was responsible for what? Building the temple, building the walls, rebuilding the city. But yet, if this curse made God change his mind, why would Zerubbabel be involved at all? Go a little further. Let's go to Matthew. Look at chapter 1, verses 11 and 12. If the Most High said no descendants, and that descendants meant that his seed for good would not be there, then Zerubbabel had no business being in this line. Let's go to it. Verses 11 and 12. And Josiah begat Jehoiakim, or Jeconiah, or Coniah. Josiah begat him and his brethren about the time they were carried away to Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconiah begat who? Salathiel. And Salathiel begat who? Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel begat Abiud, but Zerubbabel was in the lineage. Mind you, if the curse of Jeconiah was something that was prominent throughout the lineage, we wouldn't be looking at this in Matthew 12, because it's saying right here, after they were brought to Babylon, we understand according to the dealings of King Cyrus that they were allowed or permitted to go back and build. We taught that, like I said, that's Esdras, that's Nehemiah. We're studying that in First Esdras. This is Haggai, Zechariah, all of them are around this time.
And let me jump in real quick.
Yes, sir.
And to your point, when they go back to rebuild, Zerubbabel was the governor.
Yes, sir.
Which was a political position, who was in charge. So he was acting as a king without being the king.
Exactly. He's the boss, lack of a better term. But yet, based on some people's understanding of the curse of Jeconiah, they read that as such, that there's no way that Christ could come through the line, and all of a sudden the Most High want to jump in there and stop at Joseph because of what happened with Jeconiah. But yet you're seeing here that Jeconiah is in the line of Christ, and children after Jeconiah are still in the line of Christ. Let's go to Luke. Let's go to Luke 3, chapter 3, verse 27. It says, the son of Johanna, which was the son of Rasha, which was the son of who? Zerubbabel, which was the son of Salathiel, which was the son of Neri. So you have multiple accounts where you're seeing Salathiel, Zerubbabel, and guess who else you're probably going to see if we scroll up a little further. If I can find it, I probably should look at that earlier. I don't see it. He may not be in the. Oh wait, it would be down. It wouldn't be up. Let me see if I can find it. Do y'all see it? I can't see it yet. I'm trying to skim real fast. I don't see him in this one. He's not. I don't think he's on this one. But we do see something consistent. We see Salathiel. We see Zerubbabel. So what I'm saying is, there's no way, based on what we're looking at in the curse of Jeconiah, again, that the curse of Jeconiah would say that Zerubbabel, who is a descendant, could be in the land, ruling as governor and being in charge. So with that being said, let me establish a couple more witnesses, because this was the understanding in the New Testament, the so-called New Testament. I hope you're tracking with me, family. This was the understanding in the so-called New Testament. Let me go to the book of Acts. We start at chapter 2. Let's go to verse. You already know what I'm doing. Chapter 2. I'm going to tell you to go ahead and pull it up and read it. You read so much better than I do. Chapter 2, let's start at verse 29. Is my screen showing? You see? Is my screen showing, big brother? might not be really. Okay.
Yep, it's showing.
Okay. Men and brethren, let me speak freely. This is Peter talking. Now, this is Peter's understanding. This is after Christ and came. He was born. He came. He lived. He died. He rose. And he ascended. So if there was a virgin birth, surely Peter would have known it. But he said, men and brethren, let me speak freely. Let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David. Then we just read a whole bunch of promises, a whole bunch of verses stating the promises that was made to David, the oath that was made to David concerning this. Let's read it. That he is both dead and buried, and his sepulchre is with us this day. Therefore, being a prophet, and knowing that the Most High had sworn, unto him with an oath, sworn with him an oath that of the fruit of his loins, according to the what? The flesh. So the Ruach HaKodesh didn't just jump in there and say, nah, Joseph, we don't need you right now. It's saying, according to the flesh, he should raise up Christ to sit on his throne. He's seeing this before, spake of the resurrection of Christ, that his soul was not left in hell or in the grave, neither his flesh did see corruption. And we understand that that's a promise. I think it's either Psalms 2 or Psalms 60. I can't remember exactly which one it is. But he said, I will not allow my Holy One, your Holy One, to see corruption. I think it's Psalm 16. But that's what it's saying. Let's go to a couple more witnesses. Let's go to Acts chapter 13. Let's go to verses 22 to 23. And it says, when he had removed him, he raised up unto them David to be their king, to whom also he gave testimony and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after my own heart, which shall fulfill my will. Of this man's seed. Of this man's seed, at the Most High, according to his promise, raised up unto Israel a Savior, Yahushua. That's what he said. Let's go to one more witness, just one more. There's several. I'm cutting it short with that. There's several. I know my brothers know quite a few more verses too, but just for the sake of time and just this is what it's saying. Let me start at verse 1. Let's go to Romans 1. Let's start at verse 1. Paul, because surely Paul would have known that there was a virgin birth, but he ain't saying nothing about it either. Said Paul, a servant of the most of Yahushua Mashiach, called to be an apostle, separated unto the gospel of God, which he had promised aforetime by his prophets in the holy scriptures. What did we read? Didn't we read what he prophesied, what he spoke aforetime through the scriptures in Genesis, in Samuel, and in Jeremiah and Psalms? Didn't we read all of those? This is what they're talking about, which he had promised. The Father promised this aforetime by the prophets in the holy scriptures concerning his son, Yahushua Hamashiach, our Lord, which was made of the seed of David, according to the flesh.
No, according to the spirit.
I say according to the flesh.
Spirit.
Hey,
bro.
Yes.
When the Messiah came, right?
Sir.
Did he sit on the throne of David?
He did. Yeah, man. that.
when he was born and when he started ministering, did he minister from the throne?
From that authority?
No. Did he sit on the throne of David when he came the first time?
No, wait. Sitting on the, I don't think he did. If he did, I missed it.
But what did he do when he came? Did he? So in other words, I'm asking: did he come as a king or did he come as a priest?
He came as a priest, which is a whole nother discussion.
Because he had to cleanse the sins of Jeconiah.
Yes.
Before he sits on the throne.
Yes, sir.
Folks talk like Christ came sitting on the throne. So when he came, there were some things that he had to cleanse before he would sit on the throne. So now we can't use the seed of Jeconiah being wicked and none of his seed sitting on the throne because Christ cleansed the sins of Jeconiah.
That's good insight, brother. Yeah. He literally came as the seed of David. So he had to do what he had to do, not only for himself, but for his ancestors. Jeconiah is an ancestor of Christ. There's no getting around that. So even if you want to go to different accounts, if you want to look at Luke 3, well, we didn't see Jeconiah in Luke 3. So then that would let us know that it got to come through the man. If you want to say that that's Mary's account, got to come through the man because that would even cut off Jeconiah. Just saying. See in Matthew's account that Jeconiah is in there. But this is the promise. Let's read it again. Romans 1 and 3. Concerning Yahushua Mashiach, our Lord, which was made of the seed of David according to the flesh. So this is my final thought. I'll be done. I'll turn it over to my brothers in the chat. Let's go to Hebrew. Go to Hebrews 6. There we go. Let's start at verse 13. Hebrews chapter 6, verse 13. And it says, for when the Most High made the promise to Abraham, now this was a promise to Abraham, which is a whole nother lesson that's coming to you soon. I'll leave that to my brother. He already gave y'all a taste of it, but yeah, he got some fire coming with this one. But I gotta go here for a reason. That being said, for when the Most High, what you say?
About to bring it out.
I'm gonna wait.
No, I'm about to say, ain't no monopoly on these scripts. Bring that junk out.
I know ain't none, but I know I'm on this one right now. That's a whole nother. But I think there's a time for that. But when the Most High made the promise to Abraham, because he could swear, because he did swear, but the word says he could swear by no greater. He swore by himself, saying, surely blessing I will bless thee, and multiplying I will multiply thee. And so after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. Talking about Abraham. For men barely swear by the greater, and the oath for confirmation is to them at the end of all strife, wherein the Most High, willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the what? The immutability. That's why I came here. The immutability of his what? Counsel. Confirmed it by an oath. So the same thing that Most High did for Abraham, did he not do that for David? Did he not make an oath to David? And his oaths are described as immutable, unchanging, can't be taken back. the immutability of his counsel. Verse 18, by these two immutable things. What two immutable things? The oath that he made an oath. It's immutable. He can't take it back. It's like the king. What was the king? I think it was the king in Daniel's time. Because he swore, he put his signet on it, he put his ring on it. He had to put Daniel in the lion's den, even though he did not want to put Daniel in the lion's den. He was set up. But because his word was considered to be immutable, he couldn't take it back. So the Father is saying, this is an immutable thing. My oath, my promise to David. That's why I said, heaven and night and day will cease if I don't do this thing. I can't take it back. He said the two immutable things in which it was impossible for God to lie, so the Father don't lie. Numbers 23 and 19 say what? He's not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he had to repent. If he not said it, shall he not bring it to pass? So if he make an oath, he's going to perform it, and he cannot lie. Those are two immutable things. We might have a strong consolation who have fled for refuge, lay hold upon the hope that is set before us. Why? Because if the Father said it, it's a done deal. We started off this thing by saying the Father said in Isaiah 46:10, I will do my counsel. And we saw where the Father swore repeatedly to David that your kingdom, your throne will be established forever. That there will not be that there will not cease to be one that will sit on your throne forever. And that if he gives an oath, he can't take it back. And people say, well, God can do anything. No, he can't lie. And if he make an oath, he can't change it. So if Jeconiah did something that was so heinous, the Father still is bound by his oath. What did Moses do when he interceded for the ancestors? He reminded the Father of the oath that he made to who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And so because of that, even though the Father was well within his rights after the golden calf thing to destroy everybody and start over with Moses, and he still would have been right in doing it, he had mercy because he had made an oath. The Father is bound to keep his word. He promised David. And so for him to jump in there and move Joseph out of the way and say, I'm a father of this child, then that means that there was no seed that came, and Christ is not the seed of David or the son of man that or the son of man that came from the loins of David. That means he took his word back. Hope I said that cleanly. The Father made a promise, and if he jumps in there and moves Joseph out the way, then he went back on his word, because he said this one is going to come from your bowels, your loins, and he's going to sit on your throne. Christ fulfills that promise, but Christ could not have been this demigod that we've been conditioned to believe for a lot of years and fulfill that promise. He couldn't do that. He had to be of the seed of the loins of David, which means that Joseph had to be the father, which means that no matter how bad or terrible a king Jeconiah was, Jeconiah cannot make the Father go back on his word. His word is unchanging, it is immutable, and the Father cannot lie. That being said, I hope there's something about some understanding and some edification. My brothers, turn it over. Anything in the chat, if there's any questions in the chat, the floor is yours. I said a lot.
That's well done.
Okay.
Sir. Beautiful.
Okay. When people come to you guys
That-
saying, go ahead.
The fact remains, Christ did not come sitting on the throne of David.
Mm-hmm.
He came to clean up the house of David.
Mm.
He had to clean up the house before he could sit down.
Yes, sir.
So when he does sit down, nowhere can point to the seed of Jeconiah, because
Sure.
all sins of Israel has been forgiven in Christ.
Yes, sir.
I yield there.
Mm-hmm. So again, this is not an issue of salvation to us. We're not teaching this for the sake of teaching it and saying that if you believe this, don't believe this, you're going to the lake or anything like that. But people will pin you down and say, and people we know, and we know some teachers. These are people that we love dearly that hold to this, that because of the curse of Jeconiah, that the father went back on his word, and now he had to jump in there and impregnate Mary instead of Joseph. You don't see that in scripture. You don't see any witnesses to that. To Moray's point earlier, he's from
No.
Bethlehem, Ephrathah. He's from
You
a
know-
small town. Go ahead, my fault, brother.
You know something. For him to do that,
Mm-hmm.
he would be going against his own law.
Hey,
He said, "Be fruitful and multiply,"
what do you not say?
and he put that commandment into humans,
Yes.
and they were engaged.
Sure.
Why would he not use her husband?
Come on. He's going against his word if he do that.
He's going against his. He's messing with the married woman.
Mm.
Come on, man. This is too many hoes, man.
Yeah. Right. Like I said again, not an issue of salvation to us, as much as we just want to bring out understanding as to what we understand the text to say and mean. So, if somebody comes to you about this, and if you don't believe the virgin birth, if somebody comes to you about the curse of Jeconiah, I hope that something was said to you all to let you all help you all understand that was relegated to Jeconiah and his son, his immediate son. None of them prospered in the land, but we see descendants that came directly from Jeconiah, which is Zerubbabel especially, that went back and was a governor over Judea. That I yield. If there are no questions in the chat, go ahead, my brother.
No, I said that be facts. Zerubbabel was definitely governor.
Yeah.
And he was given the signet ring of the Most High. When you go back and read Haggai, he said, "You are a signet in my ring on my hand."
Come on.
So yeah,
Too much Bible.
too much Bible, bro.
Too much Bible. But you don't to believe what you want. You can believe that. You want to believe that the Most High jumped in there, you can believe, like I said, it's not a matter of salvation. Just trying to bring the understanding from the scriptures in which we see how they speak.
I got a question.
Go ahead, my brother.
Can one believe in the virgin birth and not immaculate conception?
They try to explain that they're two different things.
Why you drop a bomb on them like that?
Yeah, they said that I guess immaculate conception.
Serious.
She was like a perpetual virgin. Like it based on what they say the immaculate conception is that she remained a virgin even afterward. Like all her kids, they were immaculate conceived.
Man,
Yeah.
the lies people tell.
Yeah.
And then it become big. It's like a snowball.
Yeah.
It's like a snowball. It's just gonna keep bigger and bigger, going down the hill. Man. Come on.
It's crazy.
You guys think that when I say they, I'm talking about the origin of that story, the Roman Catholics. Do you guys think that they look at her in the closet? Do you guys think they worship her as the God, the Queen of Heaven?
I believe so.
There's a football team, a high school football program in California, Modern Day. They call Modern Day Mother of God. That Modern Day means Mother of God.
And I didn't know
Because it's all based on Catholicism. Everything
Exactly.
talks about.
Again, man's attempt.
Yeah, kind of their so-called saints that did things.
Mm-hmm. Man's attempt to, again, elevate themselves either on the level of the Most High or, in this instance, above the Most High. Now the Most High has a mother.
Not just the mother, but I do believe they pray to her.
Yeah.
And not to Christ.
Yeah.
What they say, what they call it, Hail Marys?
Yeah. That's true, brother.
The confession, like it's the, what they call it? The confession, something confession.
What's the Hail Mary full of grace and about something crazy?
All that nonsense. Yeah. So, again, these things open doors. So the curse of Jeconiah, it opens doors to believe these type of doctrines when the scriptures don't support that. Yeah, that's all I got on that. Like I said, again, I hope it brought some understanding, some edification. Shout out to my brothers, shout out to my Moray, shout out to my niece. What's your last name gonna be, brother?
Walter.
Shout out to the future Mrs. Anna Walter. Happy for her. Happy for her. Happy for her. All praise. All praise. Any words, any parting shots, brothers, before we get out of here?
No, sir. Thank you all for coming. We enjoyed the conversation. We enjoyed the input, the comments. We love you guys. We appreciate it.
Yes, family. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.